What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Chris Talks. I just bought a new microphone and a stand, so the audio should be a lot better from here on out. Today we're going to talk about Overwatch. I bought Overwatch last Saturday, and I've been completely impressed with it since I've been playing it. I think I put about 12 hours into it thus far, and there are a lot of things that I like, and there are a few things I don't like. But first, a bit about Overwatch. Overwatch was basically made from the discarded resources and textures and concepts from a canceled game from 2014 called Titan, which never came to fruition. And the gameplay is a class-based team deathmatch with an objective, so very much like Team Fortress 2, which it was very heavily inspired by, with the game modes being Assault, Escort, which is basically payload, Assault and Escort, which is you have to capture the payload point first, and then you can escort the payload, and finally Control Point, which is kind of like King of the Hill in Team Fortress 2. The classes are split up into a few different categories: Attack, which generally have low health and high damage; Defend, which generally have lower damage but a bit higher health; and Tank, which has very, very high health and some weapons that can do a lot of damage but they are very slow; and Support, which deals with healing people and kind of providing buffs and boosts but not actually doing a whole lot of the bulk of the damage. In the background, you guys can see some gameplay of me mostly maining Pharah, which is basically the equivalent of Soldier from TF2, equipped with the base jumper. She has an ability where she can jump up into the air and fire rockets rapidly with her shooter, and every character actually has their own special abilities. Some are passive. For example, Mercy, one of the characters who does a lot of healing, can float gently to the ground with her angel wings by holding space, while Mei, who's a defense character, can create an ice wall. However, there is a 10-second cooldown on this wall ability. Each team has 6 players, which may not seem like a lot. However, the map size generally makes it pretty hectic when you're actually playing. So what do I like about it? I really love how fun the game is, generally. All the characters seem pretty well-rounded, with the exception of a few who I find just to be boring, but speaking from a perspective of damage per second and strategy, all players have their ups and downs. One of the characters with the lowest amount of health, that many would see as kind of a weak character, named Zenyatta, has the ability to basically provide a buff to his teammates for health and a debuff on enemies to make them take more damage. Meanwhile, other enemies like Roadhog that have a lot of health are very large, which makes them easy prey for snipers and pretty much everyone to hit. As far as balance in the game, some may disagree, but I think Blizzard has done an excellent job. As far as the maps go, I think they're pretty balanced overall, except a few maps I think are definitely favored towards the defense. For example, I've put about 12 hours into the game, and I've probably played Volskaya Industries about 10 times so far. And out of all those times, I think the attacking team has won once. So while there's definitely still some work to be done, and there are a few exploits that still exist, as will with every game, Overwatch feels well polished and definitely like a AAA title for 2016. For the price of $40, I would definitely recommend it. Now let's talk about the things I don't like that could definitely use some improvement. I'm not the first person to say this. In fact, I think I've heard a lot of other people say it before. But the main problem with Overwatch is that to do anything in the game, you have to use a lot of teamwork and coordination, and the casual audience that Overwatch caters to doesn't really like to communicate and use teamwork very often. Oftentimes I found myself the only person actually staying on the objective, like the control point, while the rest of my team is off trying to get kills, and I'm the only one trying to defend the point that's about to be captured in overtime. Or when the defense of a team is working together like clockwork, they have a Mercy healing a Bastion, and there's insane DPS pretty much everywhere you go on the field. And your entire team is going Widowmaker to try to get some sick sniper shots. Another huge problem with Overwatch, which is one that can actually be fixed, is the server and client tick rate. Overwatch's servers run at 60 ticks per second, which isn't that bad nowadays. Most community CSGO servers, for example, run at 64 ticks per second, and while this isn't really a bad tick rate, most professional gamers would definitely prefer 128 ticks per second tick rate. The main problem is that Overwatch's client only runs at 20 ticks per second. While they have done a very good job at dressing that up and kind of hiding the fact that you're only getting 20 ticks per second, I've definitely had a few annoying instances where you go behind a wall for cover and you still get sniped. And there's nothing more frustrating than being good at a game and the game can't keep up with you. So the netcode could definitely use some work, but this is something that they can work on fixing as they try to implement competitive play, which Blizzard has confirmed should come out before the end of June. Something that I'm impressed with, that I didn't think I'd be impressed with, is how well optimized the game is graphically. I have an AMD FX 8150 8-core processor based on the Bulldozer microarchitecture, and it cannot keep up with an i3 sometimes. But along with my Radeon R9 290, even I can get a solid 60 FPS with the game maxed out at 1080p, 1440p, and even 4K. And in my opinion, the graphics and the gameplay are where the game really shines. Many people who have played the betas experience poor optimization graphically and a myriad of bugs and errors. But as someone who bought the game after launch, I have to say I've had very few problems with it, and it definitely seems very well polished. As the game stands now, I'd have to give it a 9 out of 10. And that's because even though I haven't personally experienced very much frustration due to the bad netcode, many of my friends get very upset when playing Sniper or being sniped. So in conclusion, once Blizzard adds competitive play, adds some more content, and makes the client run at the same tick rate as the server, I would definitely have no problems giving this game a solid 10 out of 10. So thanks for watching, guys. If you disliked the video, go ahead and dislike it. If you liked the video, give me a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. See you next time.